how other supervisors like to talk. You know?
Sometimes they like to move the agenda.
Yeah.
And it matters too who shows up.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Try to keep the fire department report short and sweet.
Yes, and he does, he does.
Were you guys busy today with this weather or not? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
A lot of accidents.
We had one accident so far today, that was at 7:45 this morning. We slid off 10 into the median and put the car on the side.
I think I saw that on stuff heard on the Bay County scanner.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't that Tesla, was it? No, Tesla I think was on 75.
I saw the power crews and then I saw all the things.
That makes me nervous. US 10.
And the lights are on.
US 10 always makes me nervous. East-west road. No. Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was second.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. She was right there. She signed off on me.
Do most people plow pretty early?
It
I
really
usually think
depends.
it's summer. I just thought the summer was when later.
Oh, no.
No,
The
April
Friday-
19th, isn't it?
It's April. It's April for sure. Yeah,
I don't
don't wait
remember
for the
that.
summer.
Why do I remember that? It's good
For
to
some
know.
reason I was thinking 24, but
That's,
don't
that's,
quote me on
no,
that.
I know you're
It's good,
third,
huh?
third week of April, I think.
Yeah, it could be. The 24th sounds right.
Or if I'm not sure what I want to do yet.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Is
24th,
it?
okay.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh,
I mean, school board and stuff is later than that, but
Okay.
by 4, it's always that kind of strange, not
Hey,
5.
Chief, which one was, did you guys rescue somebody out in the bay?
My name's Paul Young, I'm running for Congress, you know.
Okay.
Did you hear about that? There was somebody rescued out in the
I'm not
bay.
sure I can stay and comment on that.
Yeah, it was over,
Yeah.
huh?
Saturday.
Saturday.
All right.
Coast Guard.
Thank you, nice to meet you.
Okay. Hey, Tim, Tim, that was Chris. Because Scott Dorian is good friends with him.
Scott came in that afternoon and seen me.
I called him coming back after I left your office, yeah.
Oh, wait, that's
And he gave,
No,
he gave the commencement at the funeral, and it was very good. Oh, yeah, so they're gonna remodel the beach, I mean, the
Talking about
river.
Karen right down.
Huh?
I think you're talking about Karen right down.
Doing
Karen
okay.
right down, I think.
I've worked 2
Well,
full
her
days.
dad built that. Schaefer.
I was gonna introduce myself.
Hi.
Paul Young, I'm running for Congress here in Michigan.
Were you at a BCTLA meeting of ours one time?
I may have been, or if you
think
watched
so.
your TV last election cycle, for better or for worse, I was on there a few times.
I think you rather
Nice to
meet
meet
the
you.
candidate.
Yeah, but I think that's
in
why I recognized
December,
you.
October last year.
Yeah, I was
Or 2
thinking
years
so
ago.
too.
There's my there's my card.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And nice to see you again. Okay, well,
Dawn, did you get what you needed?
Yeah, I
They have the road commission meeting tomorrow.
I never got a doubt.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
2 hours.
9 in the morning. huh?
Yep, 9 in the morning.
Never a
Where's
doubt.
that?
That's over on Beaver Road, right by the railroad tracks. When Beaver crosses, there's the road commission building there, and they have their meeting tomorrow at 9. Or if you go
I thought I had no appointments. I may now have one.
Or if you go to Linwood Corners at 7:30, you'll catch all the supervisors there for
Wednesday night,
their
around
meeting.
6 o'clock.
Are you a reporter or something?
No, just a concerned citizen. Yeah.
Good evening. Good. I'm Paul Young, I'm running for Congress. Chuck, nice to see you. Okay.
Okay,
Nice to see you.
I'm gonna get it tomorrow.
You're running for retirement, aren't you?
I am, 317 shares.
Wow.
But who's counting?
Yeah, paperwork in the bar.
Not even considered short timer until it's like 100. I mean, like, it seems like you gotta go down farther.
Yeah, it's about 100 a year, so at that time, I think he's still about 3.5 years out.
3 years.
Yeah.
What do you consider yourself?
I can see myself 5 years out, no, 8 years out, holy cow.
It's been a long time.
No,
Yeah,
Cheryl's
wow,
here.
it's 15.
She was deep in thought at her desk. I said, are you coming? I said, oh, I guess you have a few minutes. And her head was down. Focusing on something.
The best move we ever did
I
here.
called earlier.
What, getting
Not
to me?
feeling
Both of
well.
you guys right there.
Did want to give it to all of us.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have grandchildren for that. Don't need coworkers. I know.
Well, it seems as soon as the kids go back to school, boom, you get that instant hit.
Yep.
Folks, we have 2 minutes before we'll begin.
They're worried that
Wait, hear anything about it?
2 minute warning.
Six. Yes, did we last week?
I said you were deep in thought at your desk.
Yes, you are.
Well, they didn't need one last night from Michigan, did they?
That was fun to watch, but hard to stay up for.
Yeah,
I'm usually
man, it
in
was,
bed by 9:30.
it's so
That's,
excited. Especially when Harbaugh's dad was there and his brother, crying. I loved it. It's
Don't go
great.
stealing my thunder. I want to open up this meeting by a different way. So,
Oh, well, you go ahead, I'm sorry.
thank you.
It's even more fun when
Point
you're
of order.
in one room of the
State
house
alumni.
and your husband's yelling at
To
you.
not have it start like that.
Don't make me touch a gavel.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. He was in there with Sadie and Cooper just having a whole
I say
conversation.
this, it doesn't need to happen when the meeting starts. I say we're all here together on a beautiful Tuesday evening. Like Coach Harbaugh said, who's got it better than us? No one. That was good stuff. 1 minute, folks.
Hey. Tell him. Don't be telling him my mistakes.
You're gonna point it out anyway, so I just gave my heads up.
Folks, it is 6 o'clock. Miss Sharon, could we please have a roll call, please?
Rublitz,
Here.
Cook,
Here.
Plant absent, Rowley,
Present.
Taylor,
Here.
Walensky, here, Theodorakis, here.
Outstanding. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and please be seated. At this point, I would like an agenda review, please.
Just have a couple items. First thing we're going to do after agenda review is we're going to add item 4.5, Holiday Light Contest winner presentation. And then consent agenda 7C. Just need to, there was a typographical error, so on the second line, it says 64,526.62. That should be 63,526.62. And then far right, the last number 539 should be 538,940.37.
Is there any other additions or corrections?
No.
See, if that's the only mistake we make, that's a darn good evening. All right, at this point, it would be my honor to turn the meeting over to Trustee Cook for our third annual Holiday Light Contest winners presentation.
I don't think we have anybody present. So, in third place, we had Mike and Joanne Elverson. Pardon?
The weather.
The weather. Second place was Eric and Emily Drzecki. And first place was Tom Troxwell, and they all have gift certificates that they can pick up in the office, and I will let them all know. So.
First off, thank you so much for heading this contest up again. We had a beautiful looking township with all those lights. So let's get some photographs. We'll put that up on the Facebook page, let them get a little bit more recognition, and then at their convenience, they can come and pick this up. So So once again, thank you so much for heading that up.
Thanks.
And I'm already looking forward to this year's. So, very good. At this point, I would open up to public input on agenda items only, please. Public input going once. Public input going twice. Third time, we will now close public input, and I will ask for an agenda approval.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second. I have a motion, I have support. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor with an aye, please. Aye. Opposed with a nay, that is approved. I'll next ask for a consent agenda approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Support.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor with an aye, please. Aye. Opposed with a nay, that is approved. On to our engineering report. The only thing that I have to report is our building official and I are going to be meeting with individuals from Fleece and Vanderbrink to talk about the bathrooms over at the Township Hall. We talked on those, discussed those a few years ago when Congressman Kilde's office had some earmarks and we applied for them to try and make it ADA compliant. We were not successful, so now we'll spend we the people's money to bring those up to code, which is ultimately what we need to do. So we're going to start that ball rolling next week. That's all I have for an engineering report. Moving on to pending business, let us start with the Chief's report. Chief Lohner, the floor is yours, sir.
All right. Last month, the fire department responded to 233 calls, which brought our year-end total to 2,558, which thankfully was 78 calls below the previous year. So we had a little bit of a dip in calls, which we always like to see. There were 36 overlapping incidents, which covered about 15% of the time we were going on more than one call. Other than that, we in December we completed over 300 hours of training. Firefighter Struck completed his year of probation, so he is now a full-fledged, full-time firefighter. Congratulations to him. And we have registered 2 firefighters to attend the FDIC in Indianapolis. And that's pretty much it.
Outstanding. Any questions? Chief, thank you so very much, and may you guys not have a busy evening.
I told you.
Moving on to some committee and commission reports. Zoning Board of Appeals Trustee LaPlante is not here. He did not provide a report for us other than it was a pretty easy, quiet meeting. Mr. Mark, unless you have anything you want to give to us, we'll just wait till next month for that.
No, we should be all set.
Very good, thank you. Move on to the Planning Commission. Trustee Taylor.
Thank you. We met Wednesday, December 20th, had 3 things on our agenda to take care of. First one was a special use permit and site plan approval for Bay Harbor Point multifamily dwelling, food and garden apartments, townhouses, multiplex units, condominiums, and 2-family dwellings. Chris Ark, I hope I'm saying his name. We approved that. Second one was a site plan extension to a plan we already approved for 2429 2 Mile Road to extend to 6/1 of 24. Just having trouble getting things going, any contract work, so need an extension. Same with an extended building permit for 3699 North Euclid. And that extension for the site plan would be, a building permit, excuse me, for April 1st of 2024. That's all I have. Any questions?
Very good, thank you, sir. All right, moving on to the DPW committee, Madam Treasurer.
Nothing to report.
Parks and Recreation, Trustee Cook.
I also have nothing to report.
We are just zooming through this. Fire Department Infrastructure Committee, Madam Treasurer.
The committee met last week to discuss regroup after we had taken some tours of the new monitor station, but we weren't able to do it all at the same time, so we kind of reconvened to discuss our thoughts on that station and potentially going to tour a new station at Thomas Township. So we'll be meeting again later this month.
Are there any questions? Very good, thank you. All right, moving on to some board reports. We'll start out with the supervisor's report. I'll be as brief as possible. Wanted to give you a quick update with the State Park Drive project. If you haven't seen it through social media, both the city and the Bay County Road Commission currently have a public survey that's going to be running through the 26th. So it does not include just vehicle traffic usage, also recreational use as well, both for those that may pedal or walk. So what this will do is it may allow us to apply for some maybe recreation grants as well. We already have the $10 million secured for this project. That's at $30 million right now. No other sources currently available for grants. So by extending the project, including the city of Bay City, all the way to Betts Bridge, and you can imagine the traffic issues during that construction season, but that's another story, it's going to increase the cost significantly. This may allow some federal funds to be used. It's also going to allow us to have work with the city to apply for some grants where we can be financially challenged, or the new term is significantly financially challenged, things that we do not qualify for, but it may allow us some opportunities for some additional funds. So if you have not yet taken this survey, I encourage you to do so. There is a lot of work to be done on this one before we have any definitive answers, but the engineering has already taken place on this one, so it's looking positive. Other thing I wanted to touch on briefly in light of the county's decision not to fund the remaining $250,000 for the Concon River Dredge project, we're going to be segue into some Plan B and Plan C options. We can simply back up the scope of work for the project. Instead of removing the entire old train bridge, maybe just take out that center section, which can still allow for a lot of debris to move through there. Or we can also use some other funding options to try and find elsewhere. County Executive Barsha provided a lot of information that was put together in 2006 when the County Board of Commissioners passed a resolution in support of a conceptual effort where it was actually going to be a watershed alliance that was made up of a few different municipalities and some other stakeholders to pursue finding some other sources. So, this was never put into place. A lot of the initial work was done, but they never got it past the finish line. I'm going to talk with a couple other supervisors and see if there's any traction for revisiting this group. So we have that one. There is a meeting with the Army Corps of Engineers next Thursday with myself, County Executive Barsha, Corporate Counsel, and Trustee Cook. I'll be representing not only Bangor Township, but the Watershed Association. So hopefully some good will come out of this one. Lastly, wanted to bring you into the loop on a project that I've been involved with the last couple of months, working with Bangor Township Schools, the YMCA, Hopeville Church. We are looking at, and I'm sorry, State Representative Beeson, looking at possibly a community center for the west side. We already know the dividing or divisiveness, with the bridges. Something hopefully on the west side of the river. The other thing that we have is we are the oldest county in the entire state. So we need something for our seniors to be able to do other than walk laps inside the mall. So we're looking at a multi-use type facility where it can accommodate our seniors, give them somewhere to walk, maybe somewhere to swim. It can also be a place for a church to be able to hold their services as they're doing it right now in the high school. We also have a high school that is literally busting at the seams. More than 50% of the population of that school is school of choice, and we have simply outgrown our buildings. For their bond, the bond that they had last year, the bond committee gave them a number that came out to maybe like $90 million for all the things that would need to be done, including this project. The school board said, no, we're not going to do that. So we got the scaled down version that we the people all voted on, which was about a third. Well, the need is still there, the money just isn't. So we are in the very infant stages of seeing if there's any traction in this. So it's very conceptual and infancy stages right now, but that's one of the things that we're talking about. So I will bring you up to date on anything else that comes to light on this one, and we'll be meeting again in a few weeks. So do you have any questions? Very good. We will move on to the clerk's report. Madam Clerk.
Couple things. Starting to get busy with elections. Our AV apps went out, so tomorrow we're guessing we'll have a lot of mail, which is fine. So we're ready for that. Next thing, I gave everybody a very large packet. Do not expect you to do anything with it this evening. It is regarding employee assistance insurance for the employees. One of our firefighters approached me about the EAP plan we have for employees, which we've always had one that's been kind of bundled into our life insurance and our disability through standard. However, the people that provide the EAP counseling have no clue about what a firefighter might go through. Don't specialize in first responders. So the firefighter that approached me is on the regional peer support group, so he had some questions about that. So I reached out to our insurance person. He provided me all of this information. It's a lot. In order to get a plan that specializes in first responders, we have to first get a plan for all of our employees. So there's both plans in there, details it out. There's many different options you can choose. I think my opinion is we would choose the least expensive to start with for the whole everybody, because the firefighters plan is different. And when you look through this, you'll understand. It's a lot of information, so I wanted everybody to have time to look through it before we put it on the agenda. I don't think that would be fair to dump it on you tonight and say, let's vote. So there's a lot of stuff, but I just know that City of Bay City uses it, so our firefighter reached out to them, spoke to someone. Our insurance agent gave me a name at the city of someone to speak to in their HR department if we had questions. I didn't reach out. I asked the firefighter to do it because he's more experienced with what they're looking for having someone to talk to about anything they need to discuss. So that's what I wanted to give everybody, so you have all of the information. I'll put it on the agenda for February.
Gotcha.
And just for my election commission, we'll have to have a meeting before February 6th to appoint our workers. So it'll be before the next board meeting, so I'll kind of work with you guys. Sharon and I are working on that right now to finalize all our election workers. And as we've stated 1,000 times, we have no idea how busy it'll be because we don't know how many people are going to early vote. We're clueless. So it's just good. This is going to be the election to give us some sort of an idea on what it'll be like. Huh, Diane? Yeah, so we just don't know. But I'll get together with you two and we'll set up a time that's convenient. Other than that, that's all I have. Yeah.
Will it be for the full-time or paid on calls as well?
It will include the paid on calls. Although paid on calls don't often reap the benefit of our full-time benefits, they do for this. They include them in that. And the information that I provided you says 15 firefighters. However, I was assured that it will also cover up to 15 more paid on calls because at first I assumed it was only full-time staff, and she said, oh no, absolutely not. It will cover all your paid on call as well.
Right.
I'm like,
I was just thinking, it only takes a traumatic event, paid on call could be just as
Oh,
acceptable,
exactly.
so I was like thinking, when I was reading through.
Nope. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but yeah, it definitely covers all the paid on call as well.
The only other thing I can add without taking your report hostage, that lovely display right outside the outside
yeah.
window, letting everybody know about proposal 2 updates and where you can go for not 1, not 2, not 9 days of early voting. So very good.
And I also did put some 3-fold little brochures on the counters. I stole it from the city clerk, TJ. She actually told us we could. She created one, and then I mocked it up for Bangor. Very informative, giving you all three of your options: early voting, absentee voting, voting in person, how you can return your ballot.